How you feel about Angie Stone passing away?
Man, it's crazy when somebody can tell you that, and she told a lot of people that people are trying to kill her. She made those statements 2 weeks before she died. Angie Stone said to people around her, she was in fear of her life. And that happened because she found out that she had a lot of money in this publishing and this music game that she had not been able to recoup. So she was doing an audit to recoup the money in which these these music record companies owed her throughout the years for songs she had written. And then she comes up dead, and they try to say that she was hit by a 18-wheeler. They said she flew out the window, and it comes that we find out because one of the guys on the internet paperwork, Countdown John, went to the funeral with a hidden camera and saw her whole body. And it didn't seem like she was hit by a diesel. Said she looked beautiful in her casket. He showed that on the internet, bro. So Angie Stone, she said that somebody was trying to kill her. Somebody was trying to murder her. She was in fear of her life. And 2 weeks later, she come up dead, bro. You don't find that strange? An accident that 9 to 10 people was in a car with her, in a van with her, and she the only one comes up dead? My thoughts about that is, if you think the record company owe you some money, if you think you're trying to recoup some money from the record industry, you better think twice, and unless you got some real protection or some real people behind you, because it's crazy.
So you personally, you feel like it was foul play?
Nope, nobody gonna, bruh. I think it's foul player behind the Angie Stone stuff, bruh. Because why would she be in fear of her life? Why would she start cleaning up and start saying that she feel like she's gonna be unalive? That somebody's gonna do something to her? Why would she prepare for her death and then she come up dead? Strange, bruh. And that's what happens in the music industry. These people have not, they may not seem real big, but they done wrote music for the greats. She wrote music for the greats. You understand? She wrote music for musicals. She wrote music for movies. And she never got paid her money. And then when they get these investigators to go and investigate these publishers, these publishing investigators, and they go and investigate everything that was bought, sold, or stole, and they come back with all these millions of dollars that these big record companies got. They take them to law, they take them to court. Somebody got to pay this. They say you ain't got to pay no dead artists.
Damn, man. R.I.P. to her, man. Unfortunate. But to get back to this lawsuit, how you feel about Kirk Burrell saying that, Diddy destroyed his career?
He did. He did. Diddy destroyed his reputation. Kirk is right about that. I was there on those occasions. When Kirk was dealing with Mary, brought Mary's career back. Kirk was a musical genius, whereas a marketing genius. He knew how to get the money. He knew the people who to go at for the money, and he did what he had to do to bring Mary back. Diddy planted bad seeds, was telling people don't do business with him. So he's right about that, brother. And after he got married from him, Kirk never worked no place else. So he's not lying about that. He's diabolical when it comes to that. He did it to Mary J. Blige. He did it to the band members. I mean, he did it to Wendy Williams. He did it to Wendy Williams. He's diabolical when it comes to shit like that, bro. He owned the music business in New York City and California. He had friends everywhere, bro. He had friends in high places. He owned the radio stations. You ain't see that Tupac interview from Mary J. from
Angie
what's her name?
Martinez.
Angie Martinez because of Diddy. That's probably one of the greatest. That's probably one of the greatest of all times, probably interviews ever. He stopped that from coming out. He got Wendy Williams fired. Anybody he told in the music business not to mess with somebody, they didn't. Tracy Waples don't even know this. Tracy Waples is probably one of the top musical geniuses in the industry that nobody knows. She was behind Rihanna. She was behind Method Man. Tracy Waples is a musical genius. I sat there when she was supposed to do a deal with L.A. Reid and them. And L.A. Reid told Diddy, she asked him for like 300 to 400,000, something like that. He said, man, you can get that bitch cheaper than that. Offer her 250. I just started laughing. And Tracy was his friend. So to see him do that and say he did that to Kirk Burrows and Kirk Burrows had that in his lawsuit, he ain't lying about that, bro. Nobody was going to deal with Kirk Burrows or give him a job or do anything. Look at all the great things he did for Bad Boy, getting the money and everything. Why he ain't working someplace else? Leote left Bad Boy and went to Def Jam and started working with Rough Riders. He ain't put no bad word on her. So Kirk ain't he ain't wrong about that one, bro. Not at all.
Yeah, he also alleged in his lawsuit that, in late 95, Diddy held him down to a bed in the simulated intercourse until he ejaculated.
Bro, we still on this. That's just crazy. It's asinine. It's to the point where it's that this nigga showing the monster side of Diddy that he should have been came out with this long time ago. Kirk got all this information that he had. You understand? 5, 6 years ago when I came out with this shit and saying the shit that Puff was doing, he didn't say a motherfucking word. He stayed mute. He stayed quiet. Now that other people came out and he's in a vulnerable situation, he hoping people that's going to come out here and feel a certain way for him because that shit happened to him. Okay, he did all this shit to you. When did you go and try to get help? He pinned you to the bed. He made you ejaculate on yourself and this like that. When did you go get help, Kurt? When did you ask somebody to help you? You didn't ask nobody to help you because at the time, y'all was lovers. And maybe, just maybe, you enjoyed y'all situation.